Says we're going live, and we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 379. 379, and it's a Friday. It's been I can't even remember. Have we ever podcasted on Friday? We probably have. Probably not a Friday night though.
Right.
Back when we were doing nights.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I can't think of one. Yeah.
So happy FriYAY.
FriYAY.
FriYAY. I've been taking Fridays off, and I may have inspired a little bit of a copycat. Were you jealous?
Yeah.
Were you jealous of my Fridays?
Well, definitely. But then like on Wednesday, my husband said he might take a Friday off. And I was like, it's not like the best Friday because it's kind of rainy and gloomy and whatnot. But I'm like, I could do that. Like I had a week, capital WEEK week. One of those ones where you're like, I don't know how many, days you can have, or Mondays in a row. That's how you say it, right? Like I had 4 Mondays in a row, so I was taking one off.
Yeah, it's nice when you plan. I mean, like the ad hoc ones are nice too, but it feels like when everybody else is like, oh my gosh, it's only Wednesday. Like in my mind, I could be like, it's my Thursday. So yeah, Alicia actually just shared, because we were talking about it on the virtual knit night, like that there's a lot of, she shared a New York Times article here. I'll finish my sentence about 4-day work weeks and how people, they've been doing studies and they've not seen a dip in productivity. And I was like, that would be awesome. But also I feel like that's basically what I'm doing now. I'm trying to fit a week's worth of work into 4 days, and then I get to take the Friday off. And then I have to take my PTO. But yeah, I don't know, but then it wouldn't feel as special.
Right.
It would be like,
yeah. And is that 4 10s, or is that legit just taking that 8 hours and lopping it off?
Yeah, no, I think it's working a 4-day work week. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's not work. It's working 4 11s or 4 12s, right? And then literally taking PTO so that I can have the day off anyway. But all of that to say, that's my own choice, right? So
right.
But yes, I think it's 4 10s. I think it's working the number of hours you're supposed to in a week in 4 days instead of 5. So
yeah, right now I think I would fare better doing part-time work or whatever, right? I like, that's the fantasy for me. It's like, now let's cut it down to 20 hours a week. And I can have like leisurely mornings and still get home in time to cook. And that's the fantasy.
Yeah. Jeremy, every once in a while, because he's working on Fridays, and so that gives me a little bit of the like, oh yeah, he's working and I don't have to feeling. He's been like, what are you gonna do today? And I'm like, the nice thing is like, I don't have to do anything.
Right. I will sit here and maybe I will do something productive. Maybe I won't.
Yeah. So for me, the excitement is next week. I'm also taking Friday off, but then in preparation for traveling to Rhinebeck, I'm going to get my, I said I wasn't going to do it again last year, and I'm going to do it anyway. My, the COVID booster and then my flu shot next Thursday. So I'm counting on next Friday being a really low key day, like find something to binge and feel a little bad. But then also I put the Friday flicks next Friday. So we're going to watch The Cutting Edge, and mostly because of the toe pick quote toe pick. that fits with head, shoulders, knees, and toes, right?
Yep. Sure does.
Yeah. So that's definitely, Valerie pointed out that's the first, or Sandy pointed out that's the first tip. Take Friday off.
Oh yes, it is. Take Friday off. Absolutely. You need those ad hoc days off. I think that it kind of makes them, I don't know, when you're going to take a vacation or you have plans, there's just a certain amount of stress leading into it, right? And just having a day where it's like, nope, just going to wake up late-ish and manage
head to a coffee
day.
shop as you guys did, while it's not busy, because on the weekends they're always super busy. Like taking a weekday during the day to do stuff. Yeah, super, super chill.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. But some other stuff that we can mention is that we're going to have public signups for the Zombie Apocalypse 2023 this Sunday. So if you have friends or people that have never been and they're looking for it, we're just super excited. This year we're moving on up.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be, yeah. Yeah. And I just really think that, this year is going to be exciting. We have a slightly bigger venue. So there will be a few more spots available than usual. So get in there. And then also we have already know who's going to be our keynote, which is new this year. So Vincent Williams Jr. Is going to come and speak to us about inspiration. And you can look at those details online. We also have our theme, Sky's the Limit. So you can be on team Let's Go Fly a Kite or team Up and Away. So like balloons.
Yep.
Oh, and I keep dropping my stuff. It's in my lap. But yeah, so Sunday at noon, Central Zombie Time, you can go out to our Zombie Apocalypse website, and the public link will be available there so that you can register and get your spot. Excellent. And then just a quick reminder, if you're watching this and you're thinking about signing up, when you sign up, your confirmation email from PayPal is you're in, right?
Yep.
So once you get that, be excited. PayPal has been a little slower to send those, but check your spam. As soon as you get that, that you've got a spot, we've taken your money, and a welcome letter will be shortly thereafter.
Yeah, we like to give everybody the same. So we let the ZKN folks are registering early now. So again, mention that if you haven't seen the email from Amy, you've gotten your invitation to register early. Every tier of ZKN has. So make sure that you grab your spots. But yes, we like to be able to send out that welcome letter to everyone, especially since it includes the links to get the in the room block for our group rate. So want to make sure that everybody's got equal access to that.
And I don't know if it's the day off or my lovely coffee that I got this morning or whatever, but I feel like tooting our own horn here or bragging a little bit. Our retreat is a value. It's $225 for the retreat fee, and you get so much value out of that. I've been seeing other retreats opening up, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, wow, that's really expensive. And I don't know how, So I think that we're a really good value. We're going to be in a ballroom in the Hilton overlooking the skyline of Rochester, Minnesota. We're going to have an amazing speaker. We have some really great items going into the goodie bag. I'm already talking to people about that. We're going to have some exclusive things that are, just for us. And I think that we're a great value. And so I
feel like we always have been.
Off, and I'm just like, come on, guys, we're a great value. And those of you who've been, that already. So
but spread the word, right? Like, I know that everybody is really focused on getting their spot, but invite some folks that that might enjoy it as well. Now that you've secured your spot. I always do that when there's an update, right? Like, grab item, then make sure that I'm promoting so other people can grab the items. But yeah, I think I'm excited about our new location. I'm always excited about our event, and I feel like you get a lot pre the event as well with our KALs and meeting people and the camaraderie. So you don't just show up to an event and not necessarily know the group. There's opportunities to meet the folks that you're going to be hanging out with and really craft some friendships.
Yep. Yeah. And as a suggestion that came out of last year's retreat, I do plan to put something on the calendar for people who traveled by themselves so that they can meet each other. And then if you're just kind of a social butterfly and you want to meet those new people, you can come to that event as well, so that you can kind of welcome them and help guide them through Rochester, Minnesota, because it'd be their first time here. And so we're excited to get everybody signed up and have, I don't know, a big party.
It's always a good time. It's always a good time. As an organizer, I have a good time. As an organizer extrovert, I always have a good time as well. So just great people that come and hang out with us. We didn't even mention the market. We didn't mention the designers. We didn't mention the fabulous classes. So yeah, there's just a lot to do. The 5K, other events, the yarn truck rodeo. There's a lot to do.
No, we definitely have those people already come to sign up. And like we had mentioned earlier, the KAL, we have a lot of fun things planned for the KAL this year. Kind of learned a few things from last year, and we're going to incorporate them and maybe even, go a little bit beyond in the new year. So I'm really excited.
If you can't tell, we're both very every year we're excited, but the year that we're living in makes us even more, or the next event makes us even more excited. So
absolutely. Yeah, but that's all I had for that.
Yeah. I've got a few other speakers that I'm still working on. So you guys will hear it first in our weekly newsletter email that the ZKN members get, and then it'll eventually be mentioned here and posted in Discord. And I'm trying to do better about Instagram. I had been staying off of Instagram. I think you and I chatted. Not because of it was just kind of a culmination of like dominoes falling, and I was like, I'm feeling happier not being there, but want to make sure that we're also sharing with the public, and that is definitely one venue. So when we post on Sunday about the opening of the public registration, please feel free to repost and drum up some folks to recruit some folks to join us. We always have a really great group of folks that return, and then new folks is kind of the it makes every year new and exciting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And we do have another ZKN thing on the calendar, right? We have the woodland creatures thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. In October. It's just that, I mean, again, maybe I'm kidding myself because I've got a couple sweaters that I would like to knit before Rhinebeck. I'm like, October. No, I know it's coming.
October
it's coming so fast.
Is next week, Megan. Oh, I know. Like I have some work deliveries that basically the start of a big project coming. Not the end of a big project, the start of a big project coming in October.
You corrected me about how close the fourth quarter was just a mere few episodes ago.
I know. I think I have succumbed or whatever, right? Like I am aware that it is here.
Yes, well, and it's starting here, at least in Minnesota, it's starting to feel more like it. Loved your post about everybody saying it's sweater season, but for you it's sock season. I'm like, yeah, it is. I got my woolies on.
Right. I said it's sweater weather, but sock season is upon us.
Yeah.
At least for me.
I said that wrong. I said I use season for both, but yes, sweater weather and sock season. Yeah.
Anyway, I have my tip ready to go here.
Okay.
So I don't know if y'all had seen this adorable, and it's not done, but the adorable pattern from Mochi Mochi Land that was free on Knitty. It's the Fume and Womb. So he's got little boxing gloves, and he's gonna have she's gonna have a little angry face on. And super exciting to have that project going. That'll probably get done here shortly, and I can have it be a little pin. But yeah, so if you haven't checked that out, it's a free pattern on Knitty. And yeah, it's a uterus with boxing gloves.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I feel
But
like, I don't know, did she previously have one, or maybe it was just in her graphics? Maybe one of them looked like a heart instead of boxing gloves. Or maybe they were like, yeah, ovaries instead of, I don't
oh,
know.
yes. In her newsletter, she said that there was going to be a non-fighting uterus coming.
Mhm.
I think that's what it was. And then, so then it was the ovaries, a little bit a different color.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
But I wasn't paying too much attention to that. I went out to Knitty and grabbed the PDF. I guess that's another tip. On Knitty, you have the website and you can get the print version, right? And you could say print me, and then it'll bring it up, and then you switch it from printing to print to PDF,
Mhm.
and then you can save it, and then you have a PDF of that free pattern from Knitty.
Yeah. Yeah.
That you don't have to keep pulling up the website. You can have the PDF on your tablet and it's there. So that's what I did for the human womb, is that I took just the essentials print version and saved to PDF, and now it's on my phone.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yes.
But
yeah, no, that's
tip,
nice, especially if you're ever going to be like on an airplane, or maybe you commute via subway and you may not have access to the internet all the while, right? It's kind of
or you like to have it on your tablet that doesn't have the internet through your phone company or whatever, right? Anyway, the other thing is that I've bought Anne's kits in the past. So Mochi Mochi Land sells kits on their website, and it comes with like a little thing of stuffing so that you can, it's a complete kit. But also, this is all you would need for this little project. And so instead of carrying around a bunch or having it loose and getting on all your stuff in your bag, just these little Ziploc baggies full of stuffing so that you can kind of work as you go and finish out your project. So I have this little baggie in here because I have one more thing to stuff for this while it's traveling around in my bag.
Excellent.
But
so cute.
That was my tip. But then I had another one here.
I was just going to mention, Nikki mentioned in the chat that Christmas ornament for 2022, be a cute Christmas ornament for 2022.
Oh, yes, so, yes.
What to do with your womb once you make it.
Yeah. That went super fast, like just that bit. I'm not sure. I think it got to the point where I had to switch colors again, and I was like, I'm done for the day. I didn't want to work on it anymore, and then it sat. I think that this is like a one evening project, no problem. Like, and you can have your own human womb on there, even if it is a little bit fiddly.
Yeah.
But then my other tip or trick or news worthy thing is that Tin Can Knits came out with a new collection.
I was going to mention that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And it's really pretty, lots of texture in it. So if you haven't seen it, go look at it. It's gorgeous. But I didn't really have a good yarn that I wanted to use because I kind of wanted these mitts to look really rustic. So I'm doing the timber mitts, and I've only got the first bit here done. But what I decided to do was to put 2 of my skeins of yarn that I got at Yarn Over onto this lovely turner that came from Sun Valley Fibers. So George made this. And so now I can have those 2 balls going at once with my things, so that now I have a DK weight yarn in order to make those mitts. And then I've just you can kind of stick the stick in the ball so that you can have it all kind of neatly housed. And I've been putting this on a shelf in my living room when I'm not working on it. But I think the main thing, and then the bigger needles are in the center because I have smaller needles and bigger needles.
Oh.
So it's like a project bag, but not.
It's kind of art, but not. It's kind
It's
of like
definitely
a
art, right?
project,
Look
yeah.
at how beautiful this looks.
Yes.
And it spins.
Sculpture. It's a revolving sculpture.
Yeah. But I got so excited to cast those on, and again, they kind of sat. Mainly because I've gotten a little bit further on my sweaters and I need to start blocking and doing other things. So these smaller projects are kind of tantalizing me right now because of all the sweaters. So I cast them on and then I go back to my sweater and I do a little bit more and then back to my sweater.
Is there any danger of a cat finding that as a fun toy that would revolve?
It's on the shelf where they do not have access. So while I'm knitting on it, yes, potentially, but it's just as dangerous when it's in a project bag, you know, like, but yeah, this ends up on a shelf where they don't have access, right? It's a shelf that they can't get to. It's too high. So
they have to coerce somebody to set something down tall enough next to it,
yes,
or hold them and let them.
Yes. It would take that much to get to it. Yeah.
I still think that Mission Impossible Kitty that somehow snuck in and ate your sweater could do it. I think.
Yeah. But they haven't been too interested in this particular project yet. But so that's my other strange tip, is that when I have, you know, 2 balls of yarn together and I was like, oh, how am I gonna store those today? And I just wanted to use my beautiful turner.
I would say as well, I mean, I think that there's a lot of things that you just said there that I was like, yep. I mean, like you could have used those 2 yarns held together if you didn't have the right weight of rustic yarn that you wanted, right? So you're kind of creating the correct weight for the project based on holding 2 of them together, which I think is a great tip. There's kind of a hidden tip in there. And then also, if you were kind of trying to tiptoe into more of a rustic yarn, you could hold a rustic yarn with something that was a little softer, right? You could create kind of your, like a medium rustic that would still have a rustic kind of look and feel, but also be, have some of the softness.
Yeah, I mean, this yarn
properties.
isn't too prickly. As far as yarns go, it's a local sheep. I would need to go get the tags to tell you what breed it is, but it is local yarn, undyed, so but blended, so it's really pretty.
Yeah. Nikki in VKN was also sharing she had done some hand spun that was a little more rustic, and it wasn't it did have a prickle factor. And while she was while she was soaking it, she added a little bit of conditioner, like hair conditioner, to the wash. I've not tried it, but I would assume that if it's safe enough on your hair that it's not going to cause it damage. There may be chemicals in it where hopefully it wouldn't impact the dye, but she said that it made it so much softer adding the conditioner in. Okay. So
yeah, I don't know. I was just with all that texture in that pattern collection. I just felt like this yarn would make it just that more enhanced.
It is textured and heavily cabled. Beautiful sweaters, beautiful mitts, beautiful. Yeah, just gorgeous.
Yeah, I definitely downloaded the Wander as well. That I think that one's garter with a panel in front that's cabled. That one spoke to me.
Yeah, I was trying to, what is the whole, I'm searching, sorry if you're hearing me typing, the whole collection called? Do you remember off the top of your head?
I don't.
Okay. Well, it's a new collection that they just came out with. So
Yes.
yeah, I'm clicking on things.
And
Click,
I know
click,
that
click,
a few
click.
of the
Lazy
sweaters are in.
Sunday. Lazy Sunday.
Okay. I know a few of the sweaters are in the hot right now, so it shouldn't be too hard to find.
Yeah. Super fun, super great. All right. So I said that about wanting to knit more Rhinebeck sweaters, but I did finish my Rhinebeck sweater. I know you and I have both struggled with the necklines on things, right? So like you knit the ribbing and then you end up trying to rip it back, which is going the wrong direction, right? Like if you cast on here and then you work it down, and then you have to unwind it from the opposite direction, and the cast on it can get a little hairy. Sometimes it's easier to just like snip here and then unravel up. But the construction of the striped sweater by Elena Mowry, or Andrea Mowry. Why do I keep doing that? She actually just has you cast on and then you pick up and work it. So you can see this is my bind off string. And so I was able to, much like you can try it on as you go the opposite direct, like while you're knitting a top down sweater, I could try on the neckline and be like, nope, still a little loose, right? Still whatever. So I was able to pick up as she mentioned. So I picked up the same number of stitches, and then on the round where I was knitting the ribbing, I decreased. So the pickup was a multiple of 6. I did 5 and then or 4 and then decreased 1. So I decreased 1 stitch for every 6 stitches. I tried it on. It still seemed like it was not flash dance, but it was still going to be a little wide for me. And so I worked several rounds in the ribbing, with the ribbing needle suggested, and then I went down yet another size. So again, if you're looking to decrease stitches but you don't want to actually decrease size but don't want to literally decrease stitches, which is what I was trying to say, you can do it via needle size as well, right? So I did both. And I've woven in all of the other ends. So I did the ribbing at the bottom and the cuffs. I still am a little undecided.
My bubble cardigan is still with.
You have to get into a mood. Also, as we mentioned as a tip in a previous, finding a Zoom or finding somebody to chat with you as you're just kind of like but yes, there was quite a bit of ends, not as many as your bubble cardigan will have. But I'm still a little undecided. I may wash and block it, and don't know if I'm going to try it is the Moraine by Northern Bee, so it is a little more rustic. I don't know if I'm going to try the conditioner trick and tip or not. But then I'm going to block it and I'm going to see if maybe the shoulders stretching out will make me like this a little bit more, or I don't know quite why I'm not happy with it, but I got to this point and I was like, but what if I want to rip back a little bit? Maybe it's the width, the depth of it. I don't know. I mean, it's the same number of rows as the cuffs and the hem, but something about it.
But there is
my emergency release. Yeah.
You said it was the same number of rows, but you have a few rows that are in the stripe, right? That are not.
Nope. So I picked up with the yellow. So the gray was what I picked up into. So and again, at the back, I think there was some short rows here to add length to the back. I don't know. I can't quite decide what I don't like about it, but I've got my emergency cord. I'm going to wash it and block it. Really love
I know that a lot of times that one where you add the short rows in the back just disagrees with me, and it does make me hate the collars. So that could be it, but I'm knitting a sweater now where I've done that, and every time I look at it, I'm like, am I going to like this? But
also really, so this sweater, I had it in my brain and now it's gone.
The
Um,
peaks.
yeah. It had you do the short rows after you got done with the color
Oh,
work
yep.
motif. And I don't know that I like that either, mostly because I think I maybe need to add a tag so I know the front. Like it's really hard to figure out where the front is if there isn't a little bit extra in the back. So like you're holding it upside down with the hem the even and going like which one. And again, maybe it doesn't matter as much if it's hard for you to see in the first place. But
Add
yeah,
those fun tags.
yeah.
They sell a
So
lot of really cute ones.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, those would be my tips and tricks. You can follow the pattern as written, or you know, if like on this one, I could have just cast on and done that first row. But you have to pay attention to the number of stitches, right? So if they have you cast on for right here, and then you're doing something and then increasing before you go into the motif, you probably need to get to the number of stitches that you're going to have, and then you can work the collar the opposite way. The Love Note by Tin Can Knits, another Tin Can Knits plug, was kind of where I had that aha moment, because that's literally how it's constructed, is that you can either do more rapid decreases if you want the neck to go in a little bit more. And it's written in that way. And it was like, okay, so the thing that I enjoy about doing a top down sweater is that I can kind of work until I've got the correct length, and I'm not guessing about armhole depth and where it's going to hit me and whether or not it's going to end up long enough. From a bottom up sweater perspective, I can use that same on it's kind of making it work both directions, right? So
Okay, cool.
Those are my tips and tricks.
Okay.
We gave you a little bit of what we love about ZK at the beginning of this. Happy for all of those that have already chosen to join us from ZKN, and looking forward to the continued signups and obviously the event. So,
Yep, absolutely. Bye.
bye, Ufta.